My colleague down the hallway is bad at their job and it's making me look bad to my students. Doesn't this hurt my teacher credibility? This is a common teacher hangup that pertains to student motivation, and this is the book Will to Learn that I wrote. My name's Dave Stewart Jr. I'm a teacher, and I'm here to talk to you today about teacher credibility. So when you have a situation where you're hearing murmurings amongst a student body that so-and-so is a bad teacher, there are a couple things to keep in mind. First of all, the murmurings may be completely inaccurate. It could just be that the teacher is doing something that is really good pedagogy, but that the students are not used to. So for example, one of my good buddies, Chris Painter, across the hallway from me, he is a math teacher and he teaches math at grade A level. The dude is excellent. The dude is so far beyond my comprehension of math, and I really wish I would have had a math teacher like him, because I probably would have maybe gained some new perspectives on math that I didn't have previously. But here's the thing, when students first encounter Chris Painter, there's a growth curve, there's a learning curve. There's a time where the way he's teaching, which is super question-centric, he's asking tons of cognitively demanding questions, he's constantly putting the load back on students. At first, there's really some kids who struggle and who think this guy does not know what he's doing. But by the end of the semester, he's routinely viewed as, a great part of their math education. And I mean, the guy is well loved. I even like him a little bit. So this is just an example of students perceiving that someone's bad at their job in the short term, but actually in the long term, he's doing good teaching and he's signaling care and he has passion for his work, and that helps me. I want my colleagues to be credible. It makes me look better when I work with credible colleagues. Now, what if you have a colleague who is doing things like the following? Who is being harsh with students? You can hear them raising their voice at kids through the hallway. They're super disorganized. There's tons of dead time in their class. You walk down the hallway, you look in their room, and there's just kids on their phone all the time. The colleague may have really, really low expectations, or maybe really, really high expectations that are unreasonably high. It doesn't really help the kids meet the expectations. Maybe the colleague plays favorites. This is just a list of items that definitely do harm teacher credibility over the long term. If you see these behaviors or hear of them happening again and again and again and again and again and again and again, it is likely that the colleague's credibility is sinking or is very, very low. And that does hurt your credibility a little bit. So what do you do? Well, first of all, bring credibility into your staff culture more. You want to share articles with the staff on credibility. You want to advocate for it being part of the PD conversation. You want to be sharing things with colleagues, not necessarily the colleague that you're concerned about, but just be sharing things with colleagues that you're comfortable with. Get in each other's classrooms. Actually grow a sense of together we are doing this thing called getting better at a profession. We are professionals on a team. And what you're doing in your class matters to me, and what mine matters to you. Like, work towards that. That's a huge cultural shift, but you as an individual can have an influence on that. You're not going to make it change completely by your own volition, but you can definitely begin to move the mass of the culture in a direction of your choosing. But then the other thing to think about, if you just find that that's really not working, other teachers' credibility is not the biggest thing that influences yours. Your credibility really comes down to mostly like 80% of your credibility. I'm just going to make up a percentage. It comes down to what you signal to kids in your classroom. So do you signal care? Do you signal competence? Do you signal passion or urgency for today's time with your students? If you consistently signal those things to an individual student, that student is going to tend to find you credible more and more and more as time goes on. And so, yes, it's not great to have a colleague that's doing things that are directly contrary to what we know about credibility, but, if there's nothing that you can do about it at all, just fear not, focus on your lane, control what you control, and have a great time, colleague. Have a great time doing what you do and being credible as all get out. All right, take care. I'll talk to you next time.